Okay, I changed my mind. I have to make another video because I forgot to mention the breathing. And I'm not talking about hyperventilating or breath work or Wim Hof or anything crazy like that. I'm not into any of that. I'm just talking about normal breathing, which is something that most people don't do, because when we tense up or when we focus, we will hold our breath. And a lot of people are used to taking very shallow breaths, and that robs us of energy. So if you're tired, you might check on the basics, like not just sleep and getting enough water, but also your breathing. If you're going around taking really shallow breaths, you're going to be, in my opinion, really tired and fatigued. And this is something I learned about in Pilates. I knew about breathing through my diaphragm, but I had to learn in Pilates to breathe through my rib cage. And I'll tell you why that's important. And I switch between both types of breaths. I'm not sure which is better or what feels better for you, but breathing through the diaphragm requires a relaxed belly because we're inhaling and exhaling, okay? But if I'm running, I need to have my core engaged because the running movement starts from the lower abs. You got to have your pelvis, like, you can't run like this. You got to have your pelvis tucked in so that your running is coming from your lower abs, or also lifting weights, like whether you're doing, squats or deadlifts, or even cycling when you're standing up. You got to have your core engaged. A lot of guys who cycle can't support their own weight. They're leaning on the handlebars. That's so unsexy, guys. If you can't even support your own weight, you're not hot. I'm just gonna lay it out there. You can't even stand up straight and support your own weight. Your core is that weak. I'm not gonna be turned on. I'm grossed out already. So when you start focusing on breathing through your rib cage, you can keep your abs engaged. I'm not saying like stressed or tense, although sometimes that may be the case. I don't really lift heavy enough where I need a weight belt, but when I'm running or working out, I'm breathing through my rib cage, exclusively through my rib cage, not through my diaphragm. So what does that look like? So this will require a little bit of strengthening of your muscles. So when you're inhaling, you want to imagine your rib cage expanding forward, sideways, and to the back. So if you're just sitting up and expand, when you breathe, expand into your rib cage. Keep your stomach flat and breathe into your rib cage. And not lifting your shoulders. So we're going to go through a couple iterations of that. So my shoulders are down, my belly's kind of relaxed, but I'm sitting upright. I'm going to breathe into my rib cage, and I'll show you from a couple different angles. Now, when you're doing it, at first just focus on doing it. Then also focus on breathing out and breathing to the back, and which you may be easier to feel if you're laying on the floor. But we want to breathe into the rib cage in 3 dimensions. So here's sideways. Now I'm going to do it from the back, and I'm not even sure if you'll be able to see it at all, but I'll do it. So I felt it opening into my back. And that will help you if you're swimming or running or doing any kind of exercise. And just throughout the day, just take a few deep breaths. So when I'm running, one thing I notice, the breathing gets super hard. I try to breathe through my nose. Sometimes I breathe through my mouth and get into a rhythm with the breathing and take really deep breaths. Like 3 in, hold it, exhale. I play around with my breath. So usually And what I found helps with the breathing is if I expand my rib cage and keep it expanded while I'm running, so it's easier for the air to go in and out because I've created the space for it to go in, rather than exhaling. So when I'm running, so instead I can just do so I just took 3 breaths, keeping my rib cage open, whereas the first 3 I went in and out. So that's the breath part. And like I said, the other part is being in the abs, because a lot of people will use their back muscles. I used to use my hip flexor. My abs were not strong at all until I started doing Pilates in my late 50s. During the event we had where everything was shut, I did start doing Pilates personal training 3 days a week, and I learned to make my core stronger. And I always hated abs. I do not like doing crunches. They're super boring. I don't do crunches. I use my abs in all my workouts. I use them when I run. And using the abs is, we're supposed to use our abs to maintain our posture, not our back or leaning on things. And so that comes in super handy. Like even for push-ups, we have to stay engaged in our abs so that our back is flat. So that's something I've been working on lately too. And then keeping my arms close when I do push-ups and using my shoulders. But anyway, the breath work is super good. When you know, maybe just a few little things, like when you stop at a stoplight, take a deep breath. The breath is also a way to get present, to get connected to mindfulness. It also helps the body relax. And it's what I teach men when if they come too fast, if they are like super quick ejaculators, it's because they're tensed up, they're nervous, they're tense. Whether they're uncomfortable with the intimacy or the size of their penis, usually it's guys with small penises come fast because they don't want to last a long time. Guys who are afraid of intimacy will come fast because they don't want to last a long time. They're nervous, they want to get out of the situation, they're tense. So what I teach those guys too is to do slow inhales and exhales. You won't be able to come if your abs are relaxed, if your body's relaxed. Okay, I've taught this to so many guys, and I've never had someone say, oh yeah, I definitely can come when I'm super relaxed and breathing slow. This is something I have to remind myself of all the time, but okay. I said that video number 3 was my last one. So I don't know, maybe this will be my last one. If I think of anything else, I'll make another one. But I think I mentioned already the main things is to notice how you feel. Be in your animal spirits, do stuff that you enjoy and enjoy being physical. And animal spirits means you eat like an animal. You sleep when it's dark, you get plenty of water, you eat healthy, nutritious food from the earth, you breathe naturally, except when you're in a fight or flight mode, which most of us are in. And you take the time to stretch and stuff. I think animals spend a lot of time frolicking and stretching and moving and licking themselves and cleaning themselves. So that's all I've got for now. Thank you for watching my video.